for this. Oh, something is loud. All right. So with that being said, Angela, what's up? Dimitri, I see you down there as well. Gideon, what's up? Wait for some of my moderators to come in. So the question is going to be: do unstable men feed their ego with multiple women? That's a great question. So Gideon, you're the first one on the stage right now. You're the only man on the stage as well. I want to know how you feel when you hear something like that. Before we get to these ladies, because I know they're ready to give it to us. Gideon, how you feel about that, King?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I'll say not actually. We shouldn't be generalized issue because some men are not.
Mm.
Excuse me.
No problem at all. Well, I got my people. Miss Linda, I see you down there. I'm getting you up, Chef. Oh man, I'm seeing my all-star cast of my people here.
What up, Pillow?
My peoples is in the building. What's happening, Special K? What's happening, Chef? What's happening, Linda? Good to see y'all people, man.
Blessings to the room.
Definitely. I'm on stream. I'm live on YouTube, Facebook. If y'all want to get on stream too, I'll definitely send y'all the link. Y'all know y'all residents here. I know y'all been seeing what's going on. Yeah, this is the new wave right here. So shout out to everybody that's tapped in, that's locked in. My Facebook people, all the YouTube people as well. There's gonna be a dope conversation. We ain't dating for entrepreneurs. So with that being said, anybody could jump in on that when you hear that, unstable men feed their egos with multiple women. How does that, how that make you feel? Or how do you think about that topic right there?
I'm at.
Hold on, you covering your mic a little bit. You covering your mic a little bit, K.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you better.
I'm gonna say I didn't agree with that until after I stopped. That used to be me, and when you're doing it, I
Yeah, you covering the mic a little bit. You covering the mic a little bit. Is it only me or Linda? Somebody tell me. Is he covering the mic?
Yeah, I can hear him clearly. I can hear him clearly.
All right, so
Yeah, I can hear him clearly too.
it's me. My
Can y'all
bad.
hear me now?
Yeah, you good.
Sure.
I heard somebody say they say you don't know what you're doing until you stop doing it, and I found that to be true. Like when I was doing that, I didn't really think. If somebody would have told me I was doing that, I'd be like, nah, I'm doing that. I'm just doing me, whatever. But when I look back on, I'm like, dang, I really do think I was doing that. So when I was unstable, I really didn't know what I wanted. I wanted to talk to multiple women to kind of feed that ego. So I definitely agree with it.
I'm gonna go last. I'm gonna go last. Chef, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna spit it. So I'm gonna come from a different angle, right? So of course I'm poly, right? So for me, one of the key things to having a healthy poly dynamic is the man being stable, right? Or the hinge person or the lead person being stable. So for me as a man, yes, I have a relationship with multiple women, but in the same sense, I gotta be grounded 100%. Gotta be stable, established, all these things. I'm a servant, you know what I'm saying, my relationships. So I have to be secure in myself, have a secure attachment style, understand those things that trigger me, understand how to grow and be more mature emotionally. You hear me? Because at the end of the day, if I'm the hinge or anchor, I must be the foundation. So I gotta be stable. But yeah, my mic.
Hey, let me add on to that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chef. We might be coming from two different angles because you talk to multiple women that know about each other, so I agree with you. You might do need to be stable. See, I'm out here just trying to, add them on, hide them from each other, this, that, the third. So would you agree that's a kind of a different angle?
I think so. I mean, I totally think so, you know what I'm saying? But in the same sense, it's like, you look from an ethical standpoint or consensual standpoint, right? So if the ethical consensual, then yes, you got to be stable because you have to be able to provide the balance in multiple relationships. See, the whole thing about the whole poly dynamic is that everybody gets what they need. So when you're unstable, you're gonna get one more than the other. Especially if you try to hide it and go behind folks' back, then you give it one more time than the other one. The only one girl gets the nighttime and one gets the morning dates, and there's no balance because it's dishonest. So yeah, I agree with you on that standpoint.
Mm.
Right, right.
So does like that's a good question. I'm happy you even came in here, Chef, because when they say that, they forgot about the the people that live the poly lifestyle, who have multiple women, who, you know, that actually are aware of each other. So how does that play out? Is a man feeding his ego if he's living poly where they all agree? Like, so that was a great question. I'm happy that even came up. I ain't gonna lie. I want to hear some from some of the queens. Linda, Angela, I see you here. I ain't hear nothing from y'all. I want to know
So
how.
I'm thinking.
you know.
So I'm thinking. So I want to say, typically, not including someone that practices poly. Typically, I would say yes. Unstable men do feed their ego with having multiple women around them because they're praising them and such and such and such. With the poly thing, as much as if I'm being 100%, as much as I am against sharing what's good to me with someone else, I must admit, it today's day and age, I feel like that has to be an option now because it's very rare that you find a stable man with all of the big three and him be just with one woman. So I definitely think
That's a whole.
unstable.
That's a whole nother question that we definitely gonna jump into because I feel attacked by that question, by
I'm
by that
sorry,
statement.
I
I
didn't want
feel
to attack you
attacked by
first.
that statement. What you mean by in this day and age, you is basically like you have to share. You don't have to share anything.
You don't
Hell
have to
no.
share nothing, but it's
Go ahead.
from my experience. From my experience, men out here are not being honest about what's going on, and they telling you one thing, and it's a whole nother situation behind the scenes.
And I'm gonna say this real quick. It's not sharing, and I think that's one of the misconceptions that people have. It's a symbiotic circle of caring, love, honesty, and trust, right? Where everybody gets what they need. So it's not about sharing because sharing implies that you get part. In a dynamic of poly, everybody gets a whole. Nobody's getting part. It's not my better half, it's my better whole. But again, that's in a healthy, balanced dynamic.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Ain't probably too many of those going out there. There are some, I'm sure,
Okay.
but a lot of men say poly and they don't really get the true meaning of it. They just say, "Oh, I can have multiple women," and they know about each other, and we're having a party.
All right.
And I can add on to that. I
Go ahead.
think that the ones that are not getting the whole, like Chef said, are the ones who aren't doing it right. Feel me? Like the ones that just the men who like, shoot, I want 2 or 3 chicks. Let me try this out, and they're not doing it right. But what I hear coming from Chef is, and I totally respect whatever anybody chooses to do. I feel like he's probably doing it the right way. You know what I'm saying? He ain't doing, we ain't sharing. We getting all of what we need. So the ones who may feel like I ain't sharing or nah, they probably not doing it right. And to add on to what Linda said, I feel like, and kind of what you said also, Pilar, I feel like this day and age, back in the day, you had a lot of men. My granddaddy was with the woman from across the street. So men has always been that way. But I believe the way things move so fast with social media, things are forced upon us, and society is kind of forcing that option, that lifestyle to be an option. You know what I'm saying? So
I can't agree. I can't agree. Hold on, y'all mute up when somebody talking. But I can't agree on that because you feel me. I think it's all about somebody's upbringing, and the things that they see. What their parents go through. I don't really think is more of. I don't idolize what Beyonce and Jay-Z have. I don't idolize. You know what I'm saying? Or Rihanna and Rocky, ASAP Rocky have or anything. I idolize what my mother and my dad had. You get what I'm saying? and like
Yeah, yeah.
the wholeness of a family. So it's really on the person's upbringing and what they really want, to tell you the truth. So, and yeah, I don't want to
So I
be
say all of
I
that
don't
to
want to be
say
attacked on this
possibly.
stage anymore. Men and women
No,
are
no,
not
I'm not trying to
honest. You
attack
get what
you.
I'm
I
Hey,
saying?
just
hey,
Men and
Well,
women
I
are
said
not
it.
honest in these times. I just want to
hey,
leave it. I'm
would
gonna
you
drop it
agree?
right there.
Yes, we are.
Would you
Exactly.
agree that it was easier to be a family back in the day, and it's a little bit easier to be out there now?
I think it was easier, but because it wasn't as much options to make money, and women wasn't as strong as they are right now as well too. And social media plays a big role. I'm not talking about just for the dating. It's about I shouldn't say a social media. I'm sorry. I meant to say the internet plays a big role right now because there's so many different ways to make money. So everybody is like more focused on themselves. If you ask anybody, most of the people on Clubhouse, or on you can ask this question on your social media right now. I even asked the question. Let me hold on one second. I'm gonna tell you the question exactly what I'm saying. I asked this shit on Facebook. I need y'all to hear this. And the answers it goes into what I'm saying. The answer is like basically everybody is working on themselves. You get what I'm saying? Everybody's so caught up on being their best version of themselves, wanting to make things happen for themselves. You get what I'm saying? Um, the question was, and it's actually, I'm sorry, is the room is tomorrow. It's besides blaming men on and women. You know what I'm saying? Why are so many people single? That's what I meant to make the room tomorrow. But everybody was saying, like, I have over 41 comments on my shit, and everybody is saying, they working on themselves. Where everybody's so caught up in themselves. That's how I feel, and it's just everybody got ways to make money. Everybody want to be the best version of self, build a legacy. That's all I feel about it. But before I go any further, I know I got Overgrind, Steph, and Shy Love been on the stage. I def Angela, and I don't want to hear from you too, Angela.
Yeah, I think it's sometimes it's status clout, or sometimes men just have insecurity. They may have this person gonna boost my ego up, this female gonna get me what I want. So to me, I just see it sometimes clout, status, or insecurity.
Mm, mm.
Shoot, hey, and real quick too, like back in the day, you pretty much kind of worked, went home, had your circle. But now I can be in a whole relationship. I can be in a relationship. I just met a chick in California. I live in Florida. I can be, what I'm saying, texting this chick. I just met this
Exactly.
girl on a dating app.
This is not
It's
AOL when
easier,
that phone dialing up and you
right?
like ASL age sex
Yeah, it's
location. It ain't
much
that no
easier
more.
for me to be out there now. Back in the day, it wasn't near this easy. Men still made it happen, but now I could be laying on the couch, start a whole relationship, or find me 2 or 3 sneaky links in one night from my phone.
Off a
Just easy
swipe.
now. Right.
Yeah, but Shy Love, I want to hear from you about the topic. Do unstable men feed their egos with multiple women?
So it's Chi Love.
Oh, Chi Love, but
Okay.
sorry to let me.
No, it's okay.
Chi Love, what's going on?
Yeah,
I
so
want to hear you, but I haven't seen you in a while, so I wanted to greet you, Queen. How
I
you doing?
appreciate
Long
that.
time no see. You know what I
Good.
mean? Happy
I'm
to
on my
see you
way
here.
from the
Thank
grocery
you.
store. Of course. Can you hear me? Because I'm getting the red bar.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. So I think that men that are unhealthy, you know what I'm saying, in any way, shape, or form, then yes, they're gonna feed their egos with hold on. With
Mm.
multiple women. But I feel like it just depends on who the man is. You know what I mean? Like, and the work that he's done or not done on himself. Because there's some men that talking to multiple women gives him anxiety. You know, depending on who he is as a person. So I don't necessarily mean unstable. I just think it just depends on who he is. Some people are built for it, some people are not.
Mm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry, I'm literally like loading my groceries into the back of my car. So yeah.
Nah,
That's it.
you good.
I'll
We
be
heard
now.
you though. We got it. We heard you loud and clear. Overgrind. What's the word? What's happening? You there? I think he probably driving. Steph, what's up, Steph? How you feel about that topic? Do unstable men feed their egos with
Well, you
multiple
have you.
women? I ain't hear you, Chi. What you was about to say? Oh no, I think she was talking to somebody. Go ahead, Steph. Overgrind.
Hey, can
If
y'all
they
hear me?
ain't talking yet, go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear
Hey,
you.
hey, I
Yeah, we
remember
hear you.
one
Oh shit, I'm
time.
talking. My mic was muted. I was saying overgrind Steph. My bad, Special K. My bad, bro.
No, go ahead, go ahead. I'm just talking about.
Yeah, go ahead. What you if you want to say something? 'Cause I always want to get overgrind and Steph in here before we go jump back into the whole popcorn
I was just gonna
situation.
say, I was just gonna say real quick, like Child Love was saying that some people are built for it, some people are not. I think I was cursed by my grandfather. I think I was made for it. And if I hadn't I'm married at the time. If this poly thing would have been a thing before I got married, I probably would have explored it. Seriously, because I feel like Chef said, everybody get what they want.
Hmm.
You get a multiple of what you want. But yeah, that's all I want.
Well, don't get it twisted, Special. Polyamory has been around for a long, long, long time. It's always
Absolutely.
been there.
Yeah,
Not
Absolutely.
everybody
yeah,
explored
I'm sure
it.
it has. I just learned about it as a probably recent, maybe a year or so.
Yeah, poly is old as monogamy. I mean, they were synonymous at the time, and a lot of times people were married monogamous standpoint to combine wealth and combine legacy into a status. Whereas in olden times, the poly dynamics would be more about the family based and tribal unit because let's say that, especially case my brother, he dies, right? And Shy Love and I are sister and brother in law. And Shy Love married Special K. So to keep the bloodline pure, I would marry Shy Love and I had a wife or not, and say I was married to Angela too, and would keep the bloodline pure, and I would have kids, which I love, would keep our bloodline and family, right? Then you had the whole thing about again, you can look at different styles of poly and non-monogamy. You have polygyny, polygamy, polyandry. You have the different styles of consensual non-monogamy. So there's a whole spectrum. And again, I don't think that it says you're unstable if you're in a healthy dynamic. You're like there are shitty people in poly, there are shitty people in monogamy. So again, I think it goes to the person and what they've done their own shadow work to make sure they're the best version of themselves when they get in a relationship. Like, yeah, my mic.
Ooh, I hear you, Chef. And I just want to add too, like, there's not an issue with dating multiple people. You know what I'm saying? The issue lies when you're being dishonest with those people that thought that they were only dating you. That's where the issue comes in. Just be open and honest about what it is that you're doing with that person and give them the choice to decide, okay, you know what? That works for me. I'm dating other people too. Or you know what? I prefer to just date one person at a time. This isn't going to work for me. So the instability happens when people are not honest with people. You got to be honest. You got to keep it 100 and let them make the decision whether or not they want to continue dating you or go find somebody else that matches more of what they're looking for. And I rest my case.
I
And
agree,
I
100%.
Yeah, I agree with that also. And that's where I felt like I
Totally
needed to
agree.
change because I was doing that. And I was like, it's not right what I'm doing. But what made me think that this is something I can do, I would be kind of like the selfish type. I would probably have multiple women. But one particular time, my wife had her friend over, and I never filled her in on this, obviously, because she would she would kill me if she knew I thought this way. But my wife had a friend over. We had dinner, and then had a couple of drinks. I was watching a football game. It was a Sunday, so they both got up and they were like cleaning and wiping off the table. Getting the dishes off the table. And I just looked in there for a split second. I was like, I could see myself like in this situation, like doing this with like more than one woman. But I never filled her in on it. But I think that's something I would enjoy doing too.
Overgrind. Steph, what's going on? I want to know how y'all feel about the topic at hand, overgrind. How you feel about that?
Yo, what's good, family?
What's
Going on?
happening,
How
family?
y'all feel? Unstable men, I think more or less, man, without a certain type of purpose. I wouldn't necessarily say unstable. I know a lot of stable men that just like women. A lot of them. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say unstable, man. Maybe unstable mentally. That may be a possibility.
Well, why he gotta be unstable? Why does he gotta be mentally unstable? Because he like a lot of women.
Because
I
one
feel
woman
like
is a lot to deal with, right?
one
You
woman
know
is
what I
hella
mean?
lot to deal with. You're right.
So you juggling multiple women, you know what I mean? That comes with a lot of responsibility or lack of responsibility. So somewhere you're unstable mentally or something going on. You know what I mean? You got too much time to do too much.
Is it safe to
Let's
say though?
be
I
honest.
know I don't know about everybody on the stage. I know definitely Chef. Just having multiple women is a difficult thing to juggle because I feel like I know if at any given time when I had multiple women or was dating multiple women, well, in my single days or whatever, never in a relationship. I gotta make sure I say this 'cause I'm streaming. But um, I felt like I could never give nobody my full attention. You get what I'm saying? I could never give nobody, even if I'm dating somebody right now, and I know I'm dating two people or whatever the case may be. I don't feel comfortable being in a call with somebody. I'm still texting the other person or whatever the case may be. You feel me? I just say
So
like, yeah, go ahead.
So, so you said boundaries, one, right? Boundaries, not barriers, right? That's the first thing. Secondly, what I tell people is very, very difficult, but the reward outweighs what you have to go through. Because for me, I'm a servant. I
Mm.
serve my family, right? Even though I'm the breadwinner, I have multiple businesses, all these things, TV, billboards, magazines, or whatever. But at the end of the day, when I come home, I still cook. I don't eat until everybody's fed. I
Mm.
make sure everybody sits down. I feed them. I give them seconds, third, whatever. I take care of myself last because
Mm.
I put my family first. I
Mm.
put the women I'm with first. Everybody for me is active service. That's just how I'm built. I put on my back and take care of everybody around me. So because I do that, everybody gets all of me, and it's hard. It's hard juggling. It's in my businesses, my TV career, my cooking stuff is hard. All that stuff balancing them. But again, the reward is having people that really support, love me, and respect me, and who ride me no matter what. So again, it's not easy. It's not for everybody. I'm
Mm.
saying, but those people who are doing it in an unhealthy manner, then they're out for selfish reasons. But if you truly find two people that you love and can care about and can really give your all to, it's a beautiful thing.
All right, I dig it. I dig it. Steph, what's going on, Queen? How you doing? How you feel about the topic? Let me hear your voice. Good night to you, Queen.
I'm just listening right now.
Mhm.
Everyone said whatever I would have said already.
All right,
I'm just listening.
I
But I
got,
do have a question for Chef.
yeah, go ahead.
Chef, what's his name? Chef Darrell Johnson. Um, out of curiosity, are you in a poly relationship? Oh, you left?
My bad, wrong
Oh,
button. Yes, I am.
okay.
Mm.
I've also been married for 25 years. So
Awesome. Congrats.
What was the reason to asking the question though?
Because I was listening to him, so I wasn't clear. So I
Oh,
just wanted clarification. That's all.
you want to try poly?
Oh, you know,
I'm joking with you. I just wanted to mess with you, Steph. You know you my peoples.
listen.
All right. So with that being said, yeah, I'm gonna open it up. If anybody wanna throw in anything or any questions or whatever. People in the down there, if y'all want to come up, y'all could definitely raise your hand. I'll bring y'all up. I want to know how y'all feel about men. They do it are men unstable. Unstable men feed their egos with multiple women.
When Chef was it Chef who was talking about his wife and her friend a while ago? I was looking at the phone. It was him, right?
Yeah.
no, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was Special K.
It
Oh.
was someone else? Oh, Special
Yeah,
K.
Special K. Yeah.
Right. So like when he was saying that, I was remembering yesterday when I was watching the show and like that same situation where the guy, the girl, and another girl, and he was so mad that they were enjoying themselves without him, like he was there, but it's like he wasn't really there. And he was so mad. And listening to what you were saying, I remembered that, like, if you watch P Valley, I don't know if you do.
Yes,
That
Nah,
was
nah,
I
nah,
love
nah,
that
nah.
show,
We
girl.
have
I
you?
don't even want to get into that situation of P Valley because I
I
don't.
never seen any of it.
You should. Well, a straight man shouldn't want to watch that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Were they
So
enjoying themselves like sexually or just like a friend or fun? Just
it
having
was
fun,
sexually.
enjoying themselves.
So I
Oh,
think his issue was the trust factor. He talked about poly, talked about transparency and trust. They got together behind his back. I think that's the greater issue because what he said was, "I know what it looked like when two women been together." You know what I'm saying? So again, it goes back to the transparency. If we all adults, we all equal, we all educated enough to express our feelings in a correct manner, not in hate, anger, and yelling. Then you express your desires, and you create a safe space for the people around you to express their desires. Everybody has a voice. Everybody wants their own autonomy. You know, so again, this issue was they did it behind the back, not that they were doing it.
Mm.
And that does create a bigger issue, you know, and that'll be my issue too.
What, the behind the back situation? Of course, that caused the biggest
Yeah,
issues.
yeah,
Biggest
like you're
issues,
saying,
you know.
like it's not the fact that they were doing something; it's the fact that they kept it from you, you know,
But
and the
can I
lack of trust or lack of everything.
can I say something though? And it's just being real as an adult. A lot of us, and we've been, and, you know, I don't know how many people been on Clubhouse. I've been on Clubhouse since season 1. We listen to multiple, you know, room after room after room after room. You know, everybody says they want transparency and want the truth, and we know that sometimes when given the truth, it's just not gonna be received well. So it's hard to say it's just transparency because you can't really be transparent to everybody, if you understand what I'm saying.
You can't be transparent to most people.
Telling you, they ain't going for it. You know, like I could ask a question right now, and this is like the biggest one where I got that transparency thing from is like a lot of women be like, if a nigga just wanted to hit or if he just wanted some vagina or whatever the case may be, then just should have told me that at the beginning. Now, if we go up to you and be like, yo, I just want to hit right now, you feel me? You're not going for that.
Get yourself.
99.9 is not going for that. You feel? I'm just giving out a situation. So transparency is like, you know, that's a tricky word. You feel me?
And that's a good example. I hear a lot of women say that. Why not just be straight up? If I be straight up, you're gonna feel like that was rude and disrespectful, and you're not gonna go for that.
I think that scenario is different if the woman approaches you though. Like there are times when women are the aggressor and they might approach you like, you know, hey, listen, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And then you honest and transparent. But I think anytime a man approaches a woman, that's the first thing he says, automatic turn off. Even if that's what they want, even if that's in their mind. It's the first thing he says on a woman, I just think it's automatic turn off for them. But if they're initiator and they just want, because there are a lot of women just want to smash. There are a lot of women who's like, hey, listen, I don't want to know your name, nothing. I just want to smash. But again, you have to pick up those cues and signs and be like, okay, what is she in for? If you're with it, you're with it. If you're not, you're not.
I think, regardless of how it looks like, and this is She Loves speaking, I truly feel that more women will respect you for just keeping it 100 than than just leading her on and then just being like, oh, well, I couldn't be transparent with you because I thought she was going to overreact. I think more women will respect you for just keeping it 100 from the jump, because there will be some women that will be down for that and women that won't. I think it's kind of a toss up though.
Absolutely.
So answer this question, child love, if I'm getting where you're going. Even just because you tell me no or you move on, don't mean you won't respect me for being straight up. Men may take that as, oh, she tripping, I knew she was gonna overreact. But I guess a woman may simply say, no, thank you, I'm not into that. But she still respects that I approached her and told her exactly what I want.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, I get you. I get what you.
You never take a woman's right to choose. You never take away an option to choose. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I think that's one of the biggest things you look at. You know, everybody has to have a choice. Every day you wake up, you get two things: a chance and a choice. And we take away somebody's choice, then it puts you in a bad light, and now they feel manipulated. You know what I mean? So keeping it 100 is one of the best things. You might strike out. You might hit a home run. It's just the law of averages.
99.9% you're gonna strike out. But Miss Kareen, how you doing, Queen? I see you. Welcome to the stage. Thank you for coming sharing the space. How you feel about that topic? Do unstable men feed their egos by dating multiple women?
Hi, thank you for asking me up. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Hope everyone's doing well. I thought it was a pretty interesting topic, and I agree with it. Just financially, it just doesn't make sense to me. Anyone in their right mind to want to have 2, 3, 4, 5, unless that's what their religion calls for. But to me, it's a sign of instability financially and emotionally to not be able to handle one, at least 2, depending on your culture. So I agree with it, and it's interesting. But I do agree, be upfront, get it out the way so we can just say no or yes from the jump. Done speaking.
I hear that. Shout out to Stephanie. She just came into the stream. This is actually a topic that Stephanie came up with. So I told her make sure
What's up?
it was over. I needed you to tap
I
in.
didn't come up with this. No, man, don't put that all on me. I didn't come up with it. All I did was share a meme, and you got your panties all in a bunch.
I seen it on your page. You shared it on your page, and I thought that triggered me. I was like, "What?" So, how do you feel about that? Do you feel that's accurate, or do you feel,
me?
What? Let me hear how you feel.
I mean, I can only speak from what I've seen from experience. I'm not a man, but I know that both men and women, when they have that, what is that word? I guess kind of like fear of rejection, that need for validation, you know, there's just something that's going on that they can't be alone, I would say, or they're not satisfied with their own selves. Is that a new sound effect? Is that a new sound effect?
That was a boo sound effect, but go ahead.
I just jumped in, so I didn't hear what anybody says. But I mean, just from my experience, from what I've seen, is just like y'all looking for that validation, and y'all messing with people, like with multiple people for validation. Now, granted, I just chimed in. I don't know who was last speaking. That, you know, let us know ahead of time what it's like. You know, what the deal is as women that are in these situations. A lot of us are open to that kind of openness, right? But like we had discussed before, that takes transparency and that takes communication. If you can't be in an open relationship with somebody with multiple people if they're hiding shit, that's where the problem comes in. For me, if you talk to me and you're transparent and you tell me what the fuck is up, I'm better able to handle it. I have no problem with a man dealing with a lot of women, unless it's affecting my own personal life, you know. But yeah, man, it's validation. Men and women both do it. Men and women both do it.
You said something that I wanted to ask a question to Chef. Chef, as you know, as being a poly, do you find even in the poly relationships people are being dishonest, or do you find people in poly relationships the most honest? Because
I'm gonna say consistently across the board, people on people, right? And a lot of times people get in poly dynamic as a way to try to curb their lack of discipline sexually. So you do still see people breaking their agreements in poly dynamics, right? Because again, I said earlier, they like the shitty people in monogamy, they shitty people in poly. A lot of times people get into poly say, "Oh, I want 2 chicks," or even women that want multiple husbands or boyfriends. You know, so unless you have a sound understanding of the dynamic you want, and you find people who agree with your dynamic, then it's set up for disaster. Because if you would cheat in monogamy, you're gonna be cheating in poly. You know, so yeah, we do see it a lot in poly with those unhealthy relationships where people still break their agreement. Poly is not a free for all to go and sleep who you want to sleep with. I'm saying poly is not a free for all to say, "Hey, you know where you're at? I'm poly." You know, so I'm gonna fuck on the fuck. I'm saying now the other forms of open relationships, monogamish, polymonoflux, there are other relationships where sex is the goal. But as far as for polydynamic, sex is an ultimate goal. It's not the ultimate goal. You know, but other relationships that you know swing a lifestyle, there are relationships that you can be in that sex is your primary outlet and aspect. But that's not what poly is. If people get into poly thinking that, that's when you go wrong.
Definitely, I respect that, King. Thank you for your input, Miss Coco. How you doing, Miss Coco? You there?
What is the ultimate goal in it then, Chef? Because I really thought men just wanted to have more than one woman.
So when poly talk about poly, it's not just about men, right? Poly is for women as well. I mean, I know women who are strictly lesbian and have a triad with 2 other women, right? So you can't look at it from a standpoint. I know the media says one guy, 2 women. That's the sexy thing about it, right? That's the most publicized. But poly is about a dynamic where you have the ability to establish connections in a way that you want to. You build your own dynamic. If it's you one-on-one with somebody, if it's you and 2 other people, if you and 4 other people, right? There's something called sober poly, where you are your primary partner and you are your anchor, and you have the ability to connect with people in the way you want to connect with. That's it. Polyamorous is multiple loves. You have the capacity and the ability to have multiple loves, and you act on that. That's it. You know, some people use polygamy as nation building, tribe building, building generational wealth, group economics, people lose polygyny. There's so many different forms of it. But for me, it's about love and the ability to operate in love.
So do you take care of the 2 women or only your wife?
Of course, you gotta take care. That's the poly is. You gotta take care of both of them. What's wrong with you?
So just like me being a cheater, not an issue, money not an issue to me. So I mean, I've been in business since 2004, very successful. And like I said, you can catch me on Food Network, have 13 shows. So for me, money is never the issue, never. You know what I'm saying? So and I'm all to be the provider, protecting, free from my house. So anybody connected to me, anybody that say I love, they're under that umbrella. That includes my wife, and that includes whatever. That includes whoever's connected to me. So that's just how I'm built. I take everybody around me.
Hey, Chef, what can we find you on, man? On Women Network.
So I'm on Cutthroat Kitchen. I'm on the Great Food Truck Race. I'm on Food Network All-Star Edition. So yeah, my team was the first all-black team ever to win the Great Food Truck Race in 14 seasons. So appreciate it. But
That's
yeah,
what's
you
up,
can
man.
find me on that.
Shout out to you, Chef.
And he's a
Thank you.
poly expert. He got me over here like, damn, okay.
So with
So
that
you
being
see,
said,
like Chef seem like he can handle his shit, right? But earlier when I said Chef asked a question and I didn't respond, like when I said, y'all can't afford that life, and it's really true. Now, when I hear in these clubhouse streets, they try to like define what they do in their relationship. It's like, oh, everybody bring their finances together and all this crap, and I'm like, what? That makes no sense.
what that makes
So
that would be the best poly relationship if three people
wait,
bring all they
oh
find. But that's another question. That's another time.
no,
That's a whole nother time.
I
I'm gonna
feel
leave it
like
right there.
in a case like that, it takes what it say? They cost to be the boss, right? That's how it goes.
Yeah, definitely. It
Yeah,
costs to be the boss.
But
right.
I
Thank you.
saw you put that. I'm like, what makes you say that? If somebody's financially stable, why you say we can't afford that life? What if somebody can afford that life?
A lot of people can't afford that life. I don't know you personally, right?
Financially, is
However,
what you're talking about?
A lot of people
of
can't afford the
course,
life right now.
are we gonna
A lot
say
of people can't afford the single life. Shit.
important? Exactly.
So I'm gonna say
So
this. I think that every person in every level of society deserves to have love. I've seen two homeless people with a dog in a tent. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about finances and relationships and love, that's not what we should base it off. Because ideally, if you find somebody to connect with, you should pursue it, whether you're financially stable or not. Y'all fit out together. That's what a relationship. You know what I mean, and when you look at it from the dynamic of group economics, there are a lot of people who believe politics could be the answer to poverty. So if I have, let's say, myself, Steph, and Coco in the dynamic, right, and we buy a 3-family home, and we all live in one side, and then we're on the other 2 sides out. So now we're creating wealth, and we pull our same resource from our job. Now, not only do we have resources to rental property, now all the money is in one pot, and we can now go and now build that wealth and open a business and invest other money. You know what I'm saying? So again, pulling resources isn't a bad thing. But in the same sense, that in itself still isn't what poly should be. Because herein lies, same example, me, Steph, and Coco. What if Steph loses a job? Do we put her out? You know what I'm saying? What if Coco is sick, can't work? Do we put her out? So again, the basis
but
of
guess
poly is
what,
love.
Chef? Steph and Coco would not be working. Okay?
What?
We
Yo,
would
what
be getting
the
a lifestyle.
yo,
That's the kind
yo,
of
you
life.
can't leave a Jamaican to answer no shit like that, boy. I swear to God,
Right?
boy.
Right. So you would buy your
Hey,
multi-family and you would make it clap and afford us the lifestyle. Yeah.
just because you in poly, that don't mean the women don't do anything, and the
Yo,
man
what the
automatically
fuck?
takes care of them. It's a lot of women that work. What if I got me? My wife is she's in healthcare, and what if we bring somebody else that has a good career? I mean, women are not just sitting back these days; they're working. So I agree with Chef. What if we bring our finances together? We can invest. We can buy multiple homes. So that's why when you said that, we can't afford that life. Like, why would you say that? It's like the '60s. People, women making the bag.
And there are women in
Okay,
poly
well, I
too.
guess that's a personal opinion. No one has to agree with me, but I would never combine my finances with a man and another woman.
But
Never, in no
We
circumstance
respect it.
at
We
all.
respect it, Queen. We respect it, Queen. Leave it. Listen, just leave that
Well,
one day alone. I'm telling you.
well, me have to agree with Steph. How
Yeah,
we now work. You
I
have to
tell
take
you,
care of some mind way.
You can't leave that question to no Jamaican woman. You hear me? They automatic got answers to that. They not working. If it's gonna be two women in that house, they not working. That's just how it's just certain women. Is a region, is a region thing, man. And Jamaican just not they just not doing it, bro.
And
Respectfully.
even if I work, my money is my money. But I still expect you to take care of me because now I'm in this lifestyle mainly because this pleases you more than me. Because if I were to agree to something like that, it wouldn't be because this is something that I want, you know? So,
And if
yeah,
it's not
how
something you want,
will
then
this
you don't
benefit
agree
me?
to it.
And you know what I always wonder too, since Chef says he's married, right? Now you can legally only have one wife. So does that is there like a power struggle with the other two women? Like, oh, I'm the wife, I'm the queen, like I'm up here and you're down there. Because I feel like with my arrogant little self, I would probably be like that. So now I'm curious, like, what's that dynamic like?
All right, so I don't want to go over the room. I know we got a different topic, but I speak on it briefly. So you can legally marry multiple people. There are there's 17 cities now that you can do that in. You can legally have up to 5 parents for a child. So it's just the same as same-sex marriage became legal. I do believe that multiple person marriage will become legal across the country. That's one aspect of it. So my wife and I dig together, right? So it's not just me bringing somebody in and saying, "Hey, this is my new wife." So my wife is poly as well. So we date together. So when we court somebody, we do what's called uncoupling. And what that means to uncouple is we open our relationship up to where the person can now build equity in that environment, right? So they have a say, they have a voice, they have a input in decisions. You know, we open the dynamic up to where this person isn't a third or is not an addition. They're actively part of the relationship, and we all together we date each other individually and collectively. So there's no real hierarchy, right? There's equity that can be built. Now, never equality, right? Because at the end of the day, I've been married to my wife for almost quarter century. So someone coming in 6 months, I will not have the same level of trust or even value at that point at a 6 month standpoint. But it can build the equity because what you put in, you get out of it. So as they've been equity with us, we've been equity with her, and we kind of move in that direction.
I get what you're saying, but when real situations arise, I don't think someone has to have a final say. Like, say you get
And
sick and in
that'll
the
be me.
hospital, it would. All right. So say you're sick and in the hospital, who would have the final say as to what happens with you as it relates to making certain decisions?
Oh,
It would be your wife, not the
So
other partner, right? Or
so
say you die in the will, or there is no will, then is this person protected?
okay, so let me answer that for you. So we in uncoupling, right? We do things that legally protect the next person, right? So we would design a corporation where everybody has shares, and the division of assets would be just like you dissolving a company, right? There has to be a will. There has to be outlined for everybody involved, right? You know, so you can't leave a chance. These are the questions where you talk about the end and the beginning, and people have to understand the stance in that point. So coming into it, the whole's got to be greater than some of its parts, and the whole must be the overall goal. Because when you're in a relationship with two other people as a triad, then again, yes, there's an anchor and a hinge, but you must know that if something happens, everybody must be protected. So again, we develop a S corp or a C corp where everybody's involved, and the money goes in there. We funnel the money to the business. That way, A, we get tax breaks, and then B, if someone does pass out, now all you do is divide the assets as far as shares or equity.
Yo, all I
Okay,
gotta
well, I must say, Chef, you're the first person to ever answer all these questions and sound sensible. So I have nothing further to ask or say. Thank you.
we're gonna have to start like a whole poly education group and get Chef up in here, because I'm just sitting here, I'm soaking it in like, damn man, like you really turned your whole relationship into a corporation. Like that's what I'm talking about.
so Coco, how you feel about that? The men, you never answered. The unstable men feed their egos with multiple women.
I think some unstable men do that. And I think it's because they don't know how to decide. They're always looking for the next best thing. and always leaving their options open. And some of them are commitment phobes. I'll leave that there.
And a lot of them are so damn
Yeah,
insecure.
I
I
know you
remember
wanted
I
to
had a
piggyback.
boyfriend
I know you wanted to
who
piggyback.
I want to tell a story. Sorry.
No, it's a story time.
Yes, I had a boyfriend who used to be like always want to like cheat on me, right? And when I would search his phone and see stuff, and you know what he would say? What's up with you, man? You're number one. Can I just fuck them and throw them away? Like, why are you tripping? I'm like, what? Yeah, to me that's like insecure. Like, how do you rationalize behavior like that? And what would I be to agree to that? Like, what? That don't make no sense. And when he's like, when he was messaging those girls, he's like, "Hey, beautiful," all that cute shit. But then he's like, "Oh, I just want to fuck them. It's just a game to me. Don't worry about it. It ain't nothing. It's just a game." Like someone like that has serious issues, in my opinion.
Aries B, what's the word, King? See, you just stepped through the door. What's the word?
What's happening, good sir?
What's
How
going?
you?
What's going on? Ain't
Nothing
nothing.
much.
Always great conversation. So Steph had posted something on her page, and it was triggering to me. So I brought it to the Dame for Entrepreneurs.
He got butt hurt. He got butt hurt.
I damn sure did, and I was
And
like,
you know what that means, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So I wanted to know how you feel about that, King. Do unstable men feed their egos with dating multiple women?
I think in these type of conversations, everybody has a big broad paintbrush that they paint with, and then people always talk about it from the losing end, right? And you say, well, men that do that are these sort of small-minded men. But when you're talking about multiple women, and then you talk about, unstable, I think the people that would be with somebody who's unstable with multiple women, that speaks to their unstableness themselves. However, I'm going from the angle when I think about one man with multiple women, I think about Bob Marley. Bob Marley had 11 different children from 7 different women. Now, his philosophy, his mindset is only a mindset that some people would love to tap into and hope to pray that they're even a 16th of his thought process. So would I consider him unstable? No. And then even when you look at all these documentaries and women would say, yeah, they were upset, but it was Bob. So there was nothing unstable about his character. It was actually something that kept gravitating more and more to be around him. So yes, can you say somebody small tried to manipulate from a megalomaniac's perspective or a God complex that they feel like, they are all things to all people? So yeah, they try to push that. But there is a stability to a man that can do something like that and still invigorate and cultivate safe space where women want to continue to revisit. But that's just my opinion.
Thank you, definitely respected though. With that being said, if anybody else wanted to jump in, is open. Popcorn at this moment. Everybody on the stage basically answered, and
I wanted to say something. I
Go ahead.
do agree with Aries B. Maybe the person is not necessarily unstable, but there is no way that 11 children with 7 different women doesn't bring on some type of what do you call that, instability for whoever, whether it be for the women or the children. One person cannot effectively, especially as a father figure. And nowadays, when you look at social media, so many different women are just risking having children with any man for money's sake. One person cannot effectively meet their children's um, emotional needs. So even if the person is stable or their reasoning is stable, that type of lifestyle is going to bring on some type of instability for the children. I'm done speaking.
I appreciate you saying that. I think that was Kareem, because I do agree with you. Even though, and I'm going to keep it with Bob Marley because that's the only person that I can speak to that I know that has that many children with so many different women. Bob, his children, they're thick as thieves. You can never pull one away from the other. They further his empire still to this very day. But true, indeed, and in fact, although Sedella, the oldest daughter, doesn't necessarily say anything about the the hurt, but you could see it on her. Because some of them, every child didn't get access to him the way Ziggy might have, and the others that came after him. So I do agree with that. There could be some potholes, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the person themselves are unstable, but the lifeline that they've created, if it's not conducive and it's not a empire or a community really being forged, it will create some potholes. Absolutely, emotionally, I agree with that.
I guess I'll speak to that too. The environment, I think you can't say an environment unstable because of that. I mean, Cain killed Abel. So how many times we've seen people grow up in the same house be totally different? Everybody's gonna find their own path. And just because that there's a little bit of obstacle does not mean that obstacle creates the trauma within someone's life. Because eventually they have to go out into the world, even as children. You look at the painting of Michelangelo's Pietro. When you have the Virgin Mary holding the broken body of Christ, it's a hard thing when you have to tell your children to go out in the world. Whereas they may encounter dangers that could take their life or change their life, or rather stay home and then lose their soul. So again, I think that you can still be stable, and even the environment can be stable with people. And with outside influences can also be a factor in that too. So again, having those relationships with other people, it could have all been healthy, dynamic relationships, or they all could have been fucked up. But to say that because of the style leadership is what may have affected the children is again that broad paintbrush. Because again, you don't know what happened instead. There could be people in the same home with two parents. Menendez brothers had both parents. I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer grew up with both parents. So again, I just think that we look at it from a standpoint of everybody in the same home makes it healthy, but that may not be the case also. But yeah, my mic.
No, it doesn't have to be everyone is in the same home. I meant in terms of spending time with the children. Whether it's 2 people in the household or 11 people, if you don't spend adequate time with the children, speaking from experience, it fucks them up. No matter how successful they are, no matter how successful they look, when you don't have that attention from your parents, again, whether it's 2 of you guys or 11 of you guys, it creates some instability that we have to deal with forever. And it does make it more difficult when there are different people with different mindsets involved, which is not in the poly case where there's in your case where there's an understanding and everyone's on the same page. But if it's baby mama here, baby mama there, there's absolutely no way somebody's not coming out fucked up.
I think we all grow up fucked up regardless. No matter what
What you said?
And we all grow up fucked up regardless, and no matter what kind of parenting we get.
So with that being said, anybody got anything to throw in is open popcorn. If not, we get up out of here. Dame for Entrepreneurs. This was a great conversation. Really dope conversation, to tell you the truth. And I like all the answers. Chef, thank you for enlightening people in the room about the polygamous life.
Chef, can we have a class so you can teach us all about being poly?
Whenever you're ready, I'm more than happy to do it.
Hey, don't play, man. I just followed you. Follow me back.
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
And Chef, I'll definitely hit you. We could definitely link up in the back channel and see if we could do a poly.
Yeah, because I accidentally found myself in a poly relationship with my ex-husband, and it just happened out of the blue. And one thing that I do got to say is that we let that build naturally. Like, I've been in situations where the man is like, okay, well, go find us a girlfriend. Like, no, I honestly don't feel that it works like that. Like, for someone to build a poly relationship or an open relationship, number one, you have to be open to it yourself. Number two, it takes an agreeing between the 2 people. And then number 3, like, once you're open to it, you allow it to come in. You're not going out there searching for someone on Tinder or whatever it is, because that's not where you're going to find somebody that you're compatible with in the long run. That's just my opinion. I've never had success on none of these damn dating sites. I just walk into places and I meet people, and that's just me.
I had lots of success on dating sites.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, you see what happens to your shit, right? You get comments and everything. So yeah, we can see your success rate.
I think it's because of the person too. Because one thing you look at it, when you talk about dating sites and you talk about the success or not, if you're a person that isn't someone who is great in person, right? Who's someone who's not great in public scenarios, like a lot of people can't work with somebody else and pull a conversation out of thin air. So a lot of times dating sites can help facilitate that. There are a lot of people that I know who are poly, who met on dating sites and who have long lasting some relationships. I know people who met in person that you're feeling with. So I just think it depends on you when you're started dating, because this, we 2022, the world's more connected now. I mean, people are around, and you can meet people in Australia, in China, and start a long relationship with, or you meet somebody around the corner at the grocery store. So it all depends. I think that each his own, that you find what works for you and the person you want to be with, or people. What's that, Kim?
What's good? What's good, everybody?
What's going on, Miss C? What's going on, Kennedy? What's happening?
Hey, Pilar.
A long time no
Shit, just moving around these streets.
see. I see. Long time no see, Kennedy.
So the title of the room says unstable men feed their ego with multiple women.
We're dating multiple women.
What you think?
I would say so, yeah. Because they've been on TikTok lately with these self-confessionals and all of that. And a lot of them say that when they was on some little boy shit, they'll feed their ego by dating or dealing with multiple females. So I don't know. It came from them. It didn't come from me
What? No, Kennedy. Stop it.
That's what it said on TikTok. No, don't argue with me. Argue with TikTok.
It was TikTok. It's gotta be true.
Don't argue with me. Argue with TikTok.
We ain't doing
They were
that.
self-reflecting. I'm not projecting anything.
We ain't doing that. That's for certain men. That's for certain men.
I'm saying, so what do you think in your own perspective and lifestyle of dating?
I mean, I just feel like it just really depends on the mindset of that man. Because sometimes some men be entertaining anything. As long as she got a pussy, he don't give a fuck, right? So especially in the area that I live in, it's like, it's a lot of thought shit going on. So I'm just like, you know what I'm saying?
We're talking about Pensacola over there, ain't it?
And all of that. So it's like, so it just really depends. It just depends on the context of this question. If they're on some poly shit, that's different. But even then, even with poly, you can do it horribly. You understand? So like I said, it depends on the mindset of that man. Are you entertaining anybody or what? Like that's just how that.
I like that answer better. Yeah, it depends. I can rock with that. Not the TikTok. I can rock with that.
The TikTok say what they say. These TikTokers say what they say.
Pilar, what you say about Pensacola?
No, I was talking to Kennedy. I think she live in Pensacola. It's one of those Florida states over there, on Pensacola or Tallahassee. I forgot which one of them.
Oh, I live in Tallahassee, but
Yeah,
the
Tallahassee.
area that I be working in all the time is Fort Walton Beach, Destin.
Okay,
And
that's a nice over there.
Yeah, I'm in Pensacola.
Like it was a lot that was like very eye-opening to the behavior of the people in the city. It's like a military town with like tourism, with like a hint of college students. But like when I tell you it's a hint, it's a hint. Tallahassee is a full-blown college town, so it's like it's different. You see what I'm saying? So it's a very different type of vibe out here because you have to put things in perspective in this area and stuff like that. Not everything is what it seems. Not out here. So
Respect it. Miss C, how you doing, Miss C? How you feel about that topic up there?
Well, I'm kind of with Kennedy when you talk about mindset, but one of the things I thought about was I think as people, when men try and date multiple women, I think it's because it's actually easier because they don't have to face themselves in the mirror. When you spend time by yourself, you're alone with your own thoughts. You have to face your BS. You can't lie. You can keep lying to yourself if you want, but if you keep dating multiple people, that keeps a lot of noise and activity going. So you never really have to slow down and really think about what you're doing, how you're impacting yourself and other people. And so that whole unstable idea, I think, and the ego being fed, I think it's because it's a way to avoid feeling something for real. And it's all about avoidance to me. Now that's not to say that some men just don't want to be in a relationship, but in like Kennedy saying, the mindset. But I do think that it's an easy way to put a band-aid, and it's like licking your wounds, right? I don't have to pay attention to my wounds if I've got the next distraction. And so every time there's the next person, I don't have to pay attention. I'm done speaking.
Would you say go ahead, Pilar, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You're boiling right there. I was just gonna say, wouldn't that be the same with women as well, though? Because how many women are, they're stacking their guys on top of each other, or as soon as they're done with one, it's not even 24 hours and they already got another one lined up. Where are they sitting there by themselves and contemplating what just happened between this other person and figuring out where they're at mentally, emotionally, like everything? Nobody here is giving themselves a fucking break between people.
I mean, I don't know, because I gave myself I always give myself a break, and it really wasn't giving. But I don't know. I mean, I've been told I'm toxic, but I do like to I do stack, but I don't get into in and out.
You said you've been told you're toxic?
Yes.
She says she do stack, but I feel. Let me tell y'all something. I don't. I'm not jacking what y'all saying with that break stuff, because I'm laughing. I'm crying from my ex house straight to my new boo house. I'm just saying. I mean,
like,
of course
I
you would.
One sugar daddy drop you gotta have another sugar daddy. Like, what you like? I'm gonna make sure this cash flow coming through. I'm sorry, I'm just drinking, you guys, and I'm on my toxic shit. I'm sorry.
Yo, I'm gonna say like
well,
this.
I see why.
One of the things I look at is that even in my poly dynamic, right, I enjoy my alone time. Even in my dynamic where I have a wife and we date and all those things, I still enjoy the presence of myself. That's one of the beauties of being poly, is that you have those all relationships working simultaneously. Have the group dynamic, the individual couples dynamic, and you have yourself dynamic. And even in relationships, if you don't find the time to work on yourself, even in a relationship, don't wait till you get out of it. Don't wait till you start it. But even in it's a constant effort. It's always shadow with it every time. So again, for me, I love that time when it's just me and the dog. Whether I'm with somebody or not, whether I'm in a dynamic or not, I still gotta find the time to be me and do what makes me happy alone. You hear me?
Yeah, because it's weird with me, because it's like I'm a people person, but then I'm a hermit crab. So at the end of the day, it's like I'm a popular loner. When I'm by myself, I want to be that by myself. You see what I'm saying? But when I used to try to wrap my head around why certain situations didn't work out, all that did was try to almost drove me stone cold fucking crazy, to where I was just like, maybe it just wasn't the time. Maybe right now was not the time for that situation to flourish. Maybe they wasn't ready for what I was trying to bring to the table. Because let's keep it a beam. A lot of people are delusional. They say they're ready for this when really they not. Because when it's there in their face, what they do, fumble the bag. That's why the whole fumbling me or fumbling the bag became an actual statement for real. You could be the right package at the wrong address. Sometimes things just aren't meant to work out, and it is what it is. You just got to stop making being single and dating a bad thing.
listen, ain't nobody want to be single, man. I ain't jacking that shit.
That's not.
I love being single. I make so much money, but okay.
Yeah, I ain't jacking that, man. You crazy. Everybody want that balance. That's what life is. That's the whole point of dating anybody and being with anybody, because you want to find balance. You feel me? Like you crazy. Everybody wants somebody. I ain't jacking none of that. I want that single business.
Hey, yo, Kennedy, you single? You
I
single?
am
Can I have your
single.
phone number? Can I have your phone number?
I'm single-ish.
Jesus
I am
Christ.
Your phone
Shoot
number?
your shot, my
We
guy.
got the matchmaker up in here.
Let me get the guns out. Let me get your guns out.
I just wanted to add something real quick, Kennedy. When you said like after the relationship that it would drive you crazy trying to figure out why it went wrong, I didn't mean it in that way. I meant like you reflect back on the relationship, on things that happen, because we've all had multiple experiences in our lives with other people. We're meant to be in relations with other people, whether it's romantic, friendship, business, whatever, and every single person activates something different in us. I just believe that wholeheartedly. Some people bring out the worst, some people bring out the best, but everybody is here to teach us a lesson. And if at the end of that connection you're not sitting back and reflecting what it is that you're supposed to have learned from that person that came into your life, then that's where you run into keep repeating the same cycle and attracting the same person who's not ready for what you're ready for, who's not offering what you want offered, and is not a match for you because you're not sitting there learning your lessons. You're just moving on from one to the next, if that makes sense. It doesn't have to be like a whole period alone, but you do have to do some reflections and learn lessons that you're supposed to learn in life so you can make progress. That's my opinion. You can shake your head all you want to. That's why you got some comments on your pictures. I don't
Yeah,
wanna hear
listen. You hear me? Cry from your ex boo house straight to your new boo house.
Shut the fuck up.
Listen, well, yeah, I'm gonna stop playing with y'all. Shout out to
I
everybody
completely
that
agree with what she said. Yeah, of course. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? But it's like with the recent situation, it's like the lesson that I learned. It's like, was this really the lesson I was supposed to learn from this situation? I'm kind of skeptical.
All right, hold on.
But
I
at
wanted
the
to
same
say,
time,
oh, go ahead.
now go ahead. What you say?
No, after you done. Go ahead. I thought you was done. My bad. You had a
No,
pause.
it's like sometimes we think the lesson is this because we think we figured it out, when really that really don't be the lesson for real. You see what I'm saying? Because what
Yeah,
somebody told
that's
me,
a
and I'm a
fact. That's
very
why it takes
spiritual person.
introspection. And a lot of time you don't
Yeah.
even learn it until the next person comes and they reflect the same exact thing. And you're like, oh, damn. Okay, now I see. Right?
Right, but sometimes people are just full of shit. I mean, it just listen.
I
I'm
mean,
not
that
trying
part,
to be skeptical because I'm saying it in like a spiritual situation and all of that. You know, because I'm Dominican. I'm very, very, very spiritual. Sometimes people are just full of shit. And the one thing that I did learn from a lot of situations, some people are just obsessed with conquering you
Mm.
and being in and just getting you. But once they got you, they don't know what to do once they have that. And some people are just, that's their kink, that's their shit. Like, I just want this person and I'm gonna do whatever to get her. And then they got her. And then it's just like whatever. Some people are just into that shit. You know what I'm saying?
All right, hold on before anybody goes, Chef. You could jump right back. I just wanted to read 2 comments from out of the stream. Sometimes remember I was saying that everybody wants somebody for balance or whatever the case may be. And somebody said that sometimes people find balance within, and then the other comment I wanted to read to y'all, like if y'all wanted to discuss, was a lot of people are not even self-aware out here dating. Find balance within yourself first so you won't operate out of ego, period. If y'all want to discuss that, y'all could also discuss that as well. But go ahead, Chef.
Nah, I ain't no kid who's Dominican. You Dominican? I ain't know that.
Dímelo
Yes,
que lo
I'm very
que.
Dominican.
I'm Dominican
But nah,
too.
you can find balance within and balance without. You know what I'm saying? Balance is one of the things you find on many different levels. You know, so just saying, understanding that you can find that balance in somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because again, our interaction with people bring us to a different realm. You know, so it's okay to say that someone else to help you bring balance, right? You know, we talk about being a better half. Somebody's your better half. And the reason why you say that is because they have something that you may not, or they may have mastered something that you're still learning. You know, so in that same sense, you can find balance in yourself as well. You know, balance is one of the things that comes, you know, once you are in awareness and enlightenment to receive, be it from yourself, from your own consciousness, or somebody else.
Respectfully. Dwayne, what's going on, Mr. Meter? Y'all the only 2 that didn't answer the question that's on the topic. If y'all want to jump in there right quick. Do y'all feel, men or unstable men feed their ego with dating multiple women? Dwayne, Amita.
I can,
Go ahead. You know them crows coming.
I, yeah, unstable women do too. It works both ways.
That's what I'm saying.
Unstable people can't be still, so they need multiple people. Their ego is not internal, it's external. So they feed off other people in order to continue the cycle.
Mm. Thank you, Mr. Mita. Thank you as always for coming through, showing some love, sharing the space, being a resident to the clubhouse. Dwayne, what's up with you? And I got one more comment I want to read from Miss Tanae. Dwayne, you there, King? She said you only learn the lesson when you become self-aware. Focus on you, and the right partner will gravitate towards you and naturally on your level at that. Um, that's a whole nother topic I wanted to talk about when it comes to levels. But yeah, that was great. Thank you,
Yeah,
Miss
we gotta
Tanae.
bring that up, yo. 'Cause
Yeah.
we could have a long ass room with that just on that.
Yeah, I know.
So basically, Amina, you're saying that if a woman has a Rasta because she cannot get everything that she wants and need out of one person, she's unstable, or what?
That's what I'm trying. See, the thing is, the reason why I say it's unstable because it's not easily maintained. That's what unstable is. It cannot be easily maintained. If you have multiple people, you cannot easily maintain it. It takes work. So, yes, in a way, it's unstable.
I mean, but even
Man, it's
with
hard to have a relationship with one person.
relationship, like everything takes work. I don't know. I can't agree with that. Everything takes work. Everything
Mhm.
takes work. Whether you're monogamous, whether you're serial dating,
Everything
whether you're
takes work. That
you
is
know.
true. Everything does take work, but it's a difference when you are doing focused work
Mm.
when you're doing busy work. When you have to maintain multiple people, and this I know personally because I went from dating multiple people to now being monogamous and married. It does take a lot of work.
But see, here's the thing
Lots
that
of
I said, and I said it
unnecessary.
earlier. I said earlier the rewards. Because again, me being a polydynamic, I'm in that space, and I'm not unstable. I'm solid. You know what I'm saying, and for me, the rewards of having those people that you connect with outweigh the what it presents. Like I said earlier, I'm a servant. I serve my family. I serve my wife. I serve the people that are connected. You know, so I look forward to the work, right? I look forward to those extra things because that's how I'm built. Now, if you're not built that way, that's fine. But for me, the extra don't bother me. I like the work. I like putting in extra work.
My question is that
Polyamory is on a different level. That takes a level of internal knowledge of oneself that is on a completely other level. So being polyamorous and dating multiple people, it's two different things. Because when you're polyamorous, you're having one relationship with each partner. So at the end of the day, even though it's multiple people, it's only work between you and that person who you are with at that particular time. So I do understand the dynamics of being a polyamorous relationship versus a person just dating randomly multiple people.
Can I get a level set if possible? Because I just want to understand, based off of what I heard you say, I think you said poly is with one person dealing with multiple people. So I guess my question is, because I hear my parents have been married 44 years, and they say they're not just married, they're dating each other, right? Because there's an aspect of marriage that still has to have that dating component in it. So wouldn't a poly person, even if he is in a situation, and maybe Chef can speak to it, I really want to understand what is the difference between this title of dating multiple women and a man that's in a poly relationship with his day-to-day interactions for this experience.
Yes, absolutely. So I think the biggest thing is that there's an assumption when you date multiple people, men to women, there's a level of dishonesty, the level of hidden agenda. Whereas in poly, it's more transparency, it's more trust. There are different levels of poly, right? But in the same sense, as a poly person, yes, you all have in multiple relationships, multiple people. That's the way it works. So you have, from me, a wife and a girl, right? So you have this relationship, and every relationship has to be whole, has to be complete, has to be 100% transparent. You must give that person their all of what you desire, and they can do that. You give them their all. So it is multiple in nature, right? And it does take a level of organization. There's a functionality that has to happen with poly, right? Because you have to understand that we all in the course of the day, like I have business, I'm saying I have to work, make money, provide. So I have to make sure my time is managed and managed wisely so I can give everybody what they deserve. I can't be poly with two women and like, hey, well, you get Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you get Saturday and Sunday, and then Tuesday on myself. It has to be a functionality of it. So it is multiple, and it does take work.
Appreciate that, Chef. And then, so my next question is, because you said something that I do agree with you, Amita, when you said focused work. But now I've seen monogamous individuals be in focused work with a very unstable person. And they're now entertaining one unstable person. And now their whole experience is being gaslit. They don't know whether they're coming or going. But my question is like, I think sometimes it sounds as though that monogamy gets a pass because you're choosing to be with one person for this duration of this marriage, which should only be once. So if somebody's doing focused work with one person, what does it then say about focused work if this one person has done it 7 times over? Is it that the work is kind of just being just skewed as this is what you're supposed to be living, and that person should probably start to pivot to maybe a different lifestyle? Or is it just saying that the work really truly isn't understood of what's supposed to be done?
Well, basically, in my statement, what I was saying was the relationship dynamic is different. Like I said, where Chef is in a polyamorous relationship, regardless of what, even though he have multiple partners, he is in a relationship with each partner individually, although there is multiple of them. So the dynamic is the mindset. So whether you're in a monogamous relationship with an unstable person, or you're in multiple relationships with multiple unstable people, or you are the unstable person dealing with multiple stable people, it is an unstable dynamic. All of it is that all of it basically boils down to the mindset of the individuals that are in the relationships, because it's different than being in a poly relationship versus somebody just dating randomly multiple people, because the dynamic and the mindset of the person dating multiple people, they're going to be dishonest because there is no level of trust in that relationship, which makes that unstable.
No, I appreciate the feedback and the dialogue to share your perspective and what you're seeing from your angle. I guess, you said it, in the response. And then the thing that I was just, I guess I would say I was zoning in on is the whole situation of instability. And so if somebody is unstable, right, we're saying the whole conversation right here is a person dating unstable men feed their egos. So I guess the conversation really boils around who is an unstable man more than if a man who dates multiple women is considered unstable. So that word, and like Chef said, he said, I'm a stable dude, and I've heard him in many, I've never met the guy, never met the brother, but he's a solid man from what I've heard him say. He's very consistent in any room I hear him go to. So there is the idea of stability based off of what I hear from him, So when I heard him say, I'm a stable dude, but then it like, not that the goalposts move, but it's like, okay, no, he's good because he's doing poly. But if somebody doesn't necessarily identify themselves as poly, how do they get the pass as they're in this experience of figuring this out for themselves? Because you have to start somewhere to get somewhere. How do they get the pass of not being construed as unstable, but they're saying they're going through the transition and they're doing the proper things, like telling the women involved, "This is who I am." Do you have any feedback on that?
All right, question. Somebody on the stream wanted to know: are you saying that poly relationship equals stability?
No,
No.
because you can still be an unstable person and still explore poly.
Absolutely.
Literally.
Absolutely.
And your relationship
Because the
should
thing
not
is,
be
the thing is
transparent.
that even when it comes to dating, if you didn't say that we're dating exclusively, I'm going to automatically assume as soon as I meet you and I get your name that you're already talking or dating multiple people already. My thing is, and what will be a turnoff for me is you entertaining or dating anything, right? So if every time I see you out, you with a different type of female, that's fine. But if she's not of quality, I'm like, yeah, he's just feeding his ego because he's with whatever these chicks are with. And even if they're literally, and I'm not trying to be mean, bottom of the barrel type of females, that's on some like yes man shit, then I'm gonna look at you like a lame, and I'm gonna just remove myself from the equation. Because what I'm not gonna do is let you be around me, and then I raise your stock. And all these little bird feeders, the bottom feeders are over here trying to stroke the ego now because they're like, oh well.
Yeah, my slides fell off the stream off of that. You hear me?
They couldn't take it.
Listen, if you watching the stream when you said that, my slides fell down. You hear me? Even they felt some kind of way. I promise you.
Listen. I said what I said. I said what I said because I feel like if you out with just anybody, I can't respect that. I look at you as a lame. You understand what I'm saying?
And I hear that response, and I appreciate it. I guess what I'm just trying to understand, if anything, is more so because that kind of got really finite, right? Like there was a contingency of seeing him around with all these other bottom of the barrel type women. But like, if we still kept it general, let's just say there's a man dating and he's very transparent, very honest, and he's dating multiple women. Could you still deem that man as being unstable? Is what I'm just trying to understand.
No, because we're not at that point, and it's not up to me to judge you on what you're doing. It's just who you're entertaining. You see what I'm saying? Because if I'm entertaining or dating multiple guys, best believe every single one of these men are of substance, they're of value, and I'm just keeping my options open. Now is when I'm entertaining or have full roster of Pookies and Ray Rays, and you're gonna see, then you're gonna be like, okay, then what kind of you on? What's she on? You understand what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
It just depends on the quality of that person.
I think too that's coming from Kennedy, who has a poly mindset too. So I mean, it for her question, most women would say no, I don't want you to entertain another woman. But when you have the mindset of understanding, like, hey, this is reality, this is how I move, you see things differently. You know what I mean? So again, a woman who has more monogamous standpoint say like, no, you can't be dating nobody else and dating me.
Right.
Even if we're trying to figure it out. Right. Even trying to figure it out. Even if we just quote unquote just friends, there's a certain level of ownership that happens in a lot of monogamous standpoint and monogamous mindset, right? You know what I'm saying? So you're my man, you're my husband, you're my wife, you're my boyfriend, my girlfriend. And that possession was what leads people to have that mindset of, oh, you can't do nobody else. When you have that mindset of a poly person, then you understand that there's connection to be made and you're okay with that as long as it's honest, transparent, and on your stand of agreements.
And it's like, and also it's like, if you're doing it honestly and ethically, you see what I'm saying? You can't be out here doing boyfriend type shit with 5 different females and have them all thinking they're in a relationship with you when really in your mind you're single. That's
Now,
where
are
it
you
becomes
saying that's
problematic.
the proclivity of man, or are you saying that's what
You're
who he is?
being dishonest. You're being dishonest. You're being, like, you see what I'm saying? Like they don't want anything serious, but their actions are doing relationship type stuff. But then when shit hits the fan, it's like, oh no, we just chilling, we're just dating. Wait a minute, but you did all of these things that falls under line of boyfriend shit, and you're doing this with 5 different other people. It's like you want them to be emotionally invested in you, but you're not trying to be emotionally invested in them, that's where it becomes problematic. So I don't even ask people, are they single? I ask them, how many people out here think they're in a relationship with you? Because what I'm not trying to deal with is having my tires slashed, having my windows busted in, having a girl trying to fight me in the club.
I'm actually currently going through
people.
some shit like
Like,
that.
what are
You're
we
right.
doing?
People be thinking they're in a relationship with you that you don't even know that you're in a relationship with them. Tell you the truth, that's some
That's what
shit.
I'm
That,
telling you. That's miscommunication, misunderstanding, because y'all not talking.
yeah, man. You accurate about that though. Kennedy, I ain't gonna lie with you. That's a good question, guys. How many people do you think? How many people think they're in a relationship with you? That's a really good question that people don't be asking.
And
You need to be asking that shit.
and the thing I appreciate about this conversation is because I think it really is cornerstoned by Chef, him being transparent and being able to speak on that wisdom on that side. And for that reason, I think it's healthy in conversations like this that the only landing point is not the one where it's the problematic side. Because yes, we do know even in monogamous situations, we can see and have the laundry list of situations. How there was even an album called Lemonade and 444 that showed what monogamy situations can go through in conundrums. But it's healthy to also point out, just like how some people might say, my parents have been married for 44 or my grandparents are married 69, whether you can call that or not, that's still a healthy side of it. And to give a gentleman like Chef his flowers, I'm just saying in the sense of like giving him credit where credit is due, he's doing it from a healthy standpoint. Because like we just said, and Arnita said it best, there are unstable people going into the poly lifestyle trying to make a mockery and run amok through that. So I just feel like it's a hopeful dialogue when we can also see the other side, the healthy side, where because there are some people in this room right now that are not just trying to draw the line between monogamy and poly. Some people are probably in that hybrid of, I consider myself doing some things like that. I would like to recircle and revisit, and making it a safe space for them to go reach out to a guy like Chef or to have more conversation like this. We can see both sides, that there is a landing point for the monogamy and there is a landing point for the poly, but there is conundrums on both sides. And that's one thing I think makes these conversations so fruitful. But I will.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you.
Definitely. So with that being said, anybody else got anything they want to chime in or any other questions y'all want to discuss before we get up out of here?
I'm gonna be a player for life.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
My toxica.
Like the reason I say that is because when you get on Clubhouse or get in spaces and stuff like that, and people talk about marriage and what it takes to have a husband and what it takes for a marriage, it sounds a lot like prison, because it sounds like the only person that has to metaphor herself or shape shift or whatever is me, is the woman. If he don't like weed, just take it out. If he don't like makeup, stop wearing makeup. No. It's giving prison. It's giving prison. So I try not
It's
to
not prison.
marriage
It's
minded.
called submission, cooperation. It's called who are
Bilal, I'm
you
not gonna
trying?
hold you.
Who are you trying to look good for? The people on the street or for the person that you with? That's crazy. That mean you rather validation from outside on the street and the people outside the social media or whatever than the validation of the person that you are with, sleeping with, eating with, that person that is providing for you. You rather be with that. You rather disrespect that. Not it. It is disrespect. You rather disrespect that.
No, it's not disrespect, and I'm gonna tell you why it's not disrespect. If we've been dating for 3 years, and every time you see me, my hair's different. I wear makeup. I wear fake nails. I work out. I walk around with my waist trainer, and I do all of these things. And how I express myself through my look. You don't love me for real if you want me to stop all of that shit that you know that makes me happy to appease you. That doesn't make any sense, and that's not real love. And I stand 10 toes down on that. Because if you come home from work, so hold on. So you telling me that if my husband comes home from work and he knows that Kenny likes to change her hair. Yeah, she likes to be natural too sometimes, but she likes to change her hair. She likes to change her hair. You telling me that my husband ain't gonna come home from work and he got his food already ready and all that, and I'm over here fake vacuuming with a 40-inch pink bubble gum. Hold on, with a 40-inch pink bubble gum middle part bust down wig, and he's not gonna fuck me? He's gonna come and argue, well, why you got that shit in your head? No, said no man. Said no man. You better come over
I
here
dated
and
someone,
pick
right?
me up
And
for while
she
I'm
put on a
FaceTime you with
fucking
these
purple
heels
wig,
with this
right? And I was like, yo,
bubble gum wig
why
that's
you
a
put that
40-inch
wig?
bust down. Sorry, but not
Listen,
sorry.
I dated someone that had a purple wig on. I'm like, what the hell you doing with the wig on? Like, yeah, take that shit off, man. And it caused big arguments. It caused. I ain't say I ain't hit, but I'm just saying I hit after
Right,
she
but
took
also
it
at
off.
the
She
same
had to take it
time,
off for me to hit, though. You
right?
feel?
No, but also at the same time, if you like a woman that's natural, be with that person. Don't try to come into somebody else's life who is not on that shit. I want to be natural when I want to be
Listen,
natural.
let me tell you
If you
something.
know I'm not on that shit, don't slide in my DM.
Listen,
So,
That's
so
how I
I'm
feel.
I want to say this real quick. So, when we look at relationships, right? Number one ain't hard enough, right?
no, it's pull
Multiple,
pull up.
singular, whatever. And when you meet somebody and they are the way they are, then you accept them who they are if you want to be with that person. I get that. There's a point of preference. So my wife loves different hairstyles, but she takes my opinion into
Actually,
consideration.
Dave for
One, 'cause I'm
entrepreneurs. I'm
paying for it,
tripping.
but two, because she wants to appease me, right? And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? There might be some. My wife might like my beard when it's too big, so I keep it nice and trim, right? So in a relationship, there's certain compromise that should be made as you grow, because everybody's not gonna like the same thing. And I see this a lot. We don't have to think alike, but think together. You know what I mean? So in that dynamic, Kenny talking about prison, a good healthy marriage is never prison. You know wife cannot in jail. You know what I'm saying? So like when the health dynamic with the right person, no, it's not prison, it's heaven. Like we have fun. Like we literally run around Walmart and play it with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you talk to us. So it's not I can't sit here and let marriage be spoken in that way, because it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? And you have to look at it with the right person, the right people, whatever the case may be, then you can find that balance where you can be who you are and they love you for who you are and you can grow. Just the fact that you can also look at some people who are controlling and they might not have the same sympathy.
Exactly my sentiments. Because a lot of people, marriage get a bad rap. Marriage does get a bad rap because so many times they speak on so much of the female sacrifice and they don't really touch on the male sacrifice. And at the end of the day, both have to sacrifice in the end, but it's a give and take. It's people see marriage more like a wrestling match. Who could pin who first? But in all actuality, marriage is like a dance, like a tango. You got to give, you got to take. It's a flow. And you have to understand, yes, you are your person, your individual, but then you are your person and your individual in a relationship with someone else. So you have to understand that there's a dynamic that you have to give and take. And you have to find that center of compromise. Whether you're in a relationship with multiple people or you're in a relationship with one singular person, you have to be sound within yourself, but you also have to be able to understand that sometimes I got to be like, because I am that person. I tell my husband, listen, I am every woman. Like Whitney Houston said, I'm every woman. I'll come in with a purple wig, long wig, short wig, long dreadlocks, whatever. I'm every chick that you would want. Okay? I'm there for you. But he likes a natural woman. So sometimes I do natural it up. But at times I'm me. I'm a very passionate, very loud, very opinionated person. But he understands who I am, but he can also bring that gentleness out of me when is necessary. And I'm okay to oblige him at the same, because it's not a requirement of him. I choose to give him that. And that's what people don't understand. You can't demand another person to submit to you. It has to be me have to willingly give it to you. And that's where we kind of get the loss in translation. We're WWE in it over here. Yeah, it's not WWE. It's more like a tank.
And I appreciate that, because the one thing that I appreciate what Kennedy said, which is what I really like appreciate, is that she leads with like her being herself. Because I always say true selflessness first starts by selfishness. You don't know who you are until you decide to serve you first, so that way you can serve others. I don't believe Chef was tricked into or finagled into being the man that he is when he says he loves to serve. He figured that out for himself, which was where the reflection and the self-worth comes into play. But I am a product of marriage all around me. All my brothers are married. I'm the only one that's married. My parents have been married for 44 loving years. They love it. And like you said, it is a dance, it is a tango, and it sometimes is a wrestling match. But I do realize that at one point or another, the compromise, that's why I don't really care for the word compromise, because eventually over time, when you compromise, you've given up so much of yourself that if you don't get back in return what you think you should be getting, resentment starts to fall into play. So when you hear these individuals like a gentleman like Chef who says, you know what, I found out where I am, my wife found out where she is, and we do this together, I don't consider them compromising. I look at them being willing to serve each other in roles that best suit and ever flourishes their relationship. Then to hear a woman like Kennedy, I don't look like it doesn't sound like to me she's going to be a player all her life. She's just like, until somebody can unapologetically accept me without me having to negotiate, I gotta lead with myself, because if I give anything else, I can get lost in the sauce. And dating multiple people from a healthy perspective, in my opinion, is a healthy thing, even for the people engaging, because they can decide if that's what they like. And they're being exposed to something new than something traditional, like everybody's supposed to be monogamous. Tiger Woods thought he was supposed to be monogamous. And what happened? It all came out that, like you said, Armida, he was dealing with the scuzz buckets. You know what I'm saying? So, and that came out and that didn't do well for his brand, but he's been that multiple poly type of person, although he was being, deceiving about it. So I say all that to say, however we do it, we need to do it from a place of willingness, not from a place of, I'm doing it for you or the other spouse or sacrifice.
Can I say something, man? Gotta say something, because I was married before. So let me tell y'all something. If y'all think y'all going into this fairy tale ass relationship that y'all got planned in y'all head, thinking that everything that person, your partner, is gonna like, and you ain't gonna never have to change nothing at all, you're lying to yourself right now. You are lying to yourself. There are things that you're gonna have to stop doing or change about you for the betterment of your relationship. It might be small and it might be big, but you're not going to live that same lifestyle that you're living when you're single and just by yourself. That's the point of a relationship. You're going into both, you know what I'm saying? You're going to agree to disagree on things, but you're going to have to come to a place where y'all can compromise. You know what I'm saying? And
Pills, let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
Because, all right, you're a big bad sound guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You run sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say your wife, and that's a brand. If y'all don't know, Pills,
I'm glad you're about to talk about this, because trust me, this shit done came up. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So people who don't know Big Bad Selector, Pills, you can listen to him. You have a sound that has traveled the country, the globe, the world, right? So let's just say now you get married again, and your wife is tired because she just found out you got booked for the whole week for Carnival down in Miami, right? My question to you is, if she lets you know, like, listen, for the betterment of our relationship, now this is something that you have mastered, and this is something you love to do.
I'm gonna give you a better situation.
Are you willing to throw that away?
No, I'm gonna give you a great a real situation of, it was a time where my daughter was probably 2 years, a few months actually, and she wanted to move to Texas, but thinking that was gonna be the betterment of our family. You get what I'm saying? And I was at that point, I was in the peak of my DJ career. I'm talking about traveling, going everything. I had a radio show and everything every Tuesday. I'm talking about, how the sound thing go. If you're a DJ, whatever, my DJ career was going great. My radio career was going great, but she wanted to move to Texas. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. She left with my daughter and went to Texas. I was not going. She came back, but I'm happy I made that choice. But I'm not doing that. You get what I'm saying? It's just certain things that you don't. I'm not compromising with. You feel me? And that was something that I wasn't gonna compromise with, because I felt like everything is going good here. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing that was a selfish move for her. She felt like she needed to leave, or she felt like it could work over there. I feel like it could work right here. You know what I'm saying? So That's a great
I
real life
get it.
situation.
Right, I
So
get it,
here's
but
the
also at the same time, I was in a relationship
Mm.
with someone who didn't like the fact that I worked out. Now, mind you, I didn't know this at first, right? So I'm going to the gym, I'm working out, I'm doing whatever. I'm like, come to the gym with me. Nah, I don't want to come to the gym with you. So when he felt like he had me wrapped around his finger, he's like, oh, I need you to stop going to the gym because then I feel some type of way. You know, you could gain about, 10, 15, 20 pounds or whatever and everything will be good. You know what I told him? Get the fuck out my house. Because you knew what it was when you did. And there's just some things that I'm just not willing to stop.
Mm.
Like, because some people like to make demands based on insecurities. And what I'm not going to do is change certain aspects of myself to feed insecurities. So ever since then, I do not date men who don't work out.
Hold on,
Ever
one,
since
hold
then,
on
I
one second,
don't
y'all. Hold
date
on
men
one
that
second.
don't
Hold on,
work
hold on,
out.
everybody. Hold on one second. I'm gonna pass it to you, Aries. What I wanted to say, well, I just want to greet Miss Tanae Cosley, one of my good Facebook friends, one of my Reels Play bonus friends. That's we over there on Facebook getting paid. She actually has two major groups on Facebook, and I own one and she owns one. So I just wanted to greet her into the clubhouse. How you doing, Miss Tanae? And if you wanted to answer the topic, go ahead. You there?
Hey everyone, yes, I am here. I'm finally back on Clubhouse, so bear with me. But I was just joining, listening in. I don't have anything to add right now, but I sure will in a second.
All right. Thank you. All right. So with that being said, Aries, go ahead. Aries, you there? Oh, let's go.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
I think it was actually Chef who was about to chime in.
All right.
Yeah. So I was gonna say here's a forum to talk about change and all that stuff in relationships. Now, granted, this December be 25 years of marriage, me and my wife, right? So one thing that we did early was we changed the changeable, right? Those things about each other that we didn't care for, didn't like, didn't agree with, that were up for debate. That's a compromise. We changed the changeable. But the next thing we did was we committed to the unchangeable. There's certain things about me that's not gonna change. My essence, the things that I enjoy. Like that's like somebody saying, "Look, stop working out, or stop cooking, or stop doing these things you enjoy because I don't like it." Well, that's me. So in a relationship, you have to change the changeable, make the compromise, the sacrifice for your partner that you're willing to give up. But then you have to draw a line in the sand and say, "Hey, listen, if you're going to be with me, there's certain things that are unchangeable." And you have, and if they agree to those things, that's cool. Now views can change and shift over time, right? But for the most part, those unchangeable things are part of who will make you who you are. Like Emily said, she's not gonna start working out. That's part of who she is. I'm the same way. You know what I'm saying? So when you have the relationships, that compromise comes with those changeable things. Those things like, let's say I like playing Xbox 4 hours a day. Well, hey, honey, can you do it 1 hour a day? You know what? Yeah, I can do that. Or let's say that she likes to, be on the phone with a friend for 6 hours. Hey, honey, can you cut down to 3 hours? You know what I mean? So there are certain things that are negotiable in any relationship. But those things that are part of your essence, who you really are, you cannot give those up because those things you built up over years, over time, and it brings you to a comfort zone. Everybody can have their boundaries, not barriers, but boundaries, right? You know what I'm saying? And then you can evolve from there. Like, yeah, my mind.
Man, I appreciate that. Chef. That goes to what I was saying about true selflessness versus being selfishness. That selfishness gives you time to find those pillars of who you are. Whether you are going to be a gym rat, you're going to be a chef, you're going to be, a writer, or you're going to make time for your friends. Those are some things that if the person's going to be with you, those are your non-negotiables. Now, the squeezing the toothpaste in the middle, I'm not talking about necessarily that, like you said, change the changeables, but when you find your passion, like being a selector, right? When you find your passion, like trading and investing in, you find yourself talking to people for hours on end about the next business deal. Those are your pillars. Are you willing to stay in a focused relationship that speaks to the stability, being able to move off of those type of passion like squares for the betterment of the other person? Or is that another unstable but focused relationship?
Every you hit it, that's totally unstable and unfocused because what that does is going to build resentment. Because you're like, well, look, I gave up my dream for you, and now you're leaving me. Or I gave up my dream for you, and now you're doing me this way. Or hey, I sacrificed the things that I love to love you, but now you don't love me the same way. You know what I mean? So you got to hold on to who you are. Even dynamic, even me as a poly person, I always say there are 5 relationships in poly dynamic. So I can use myself, Kennedy, and Amita, right? Let's say we're in a triad. So there's a link between me and Kennedy, me and Amita, Kennedy and Amita, me and Amita. And then there's one issue I have myself. That's one we all three of us have together. But even in that dynamic, with all the relationships going on simultaneously, I still got to find me. I have to. You know what I'm saying? Because if I don't find me, then now you can't pour from empty cup. No way around it. You cannot pour from empty cup. You know, so you have to find what fills you up outside of the people. Because people can fill you up to a level, right? A certain extent. The people that make you happy in situations, people that can bring joy to you, bring balance. But the whole aspect of it is that you got to find what fills you up without anybody else. And when you do that and then you get up for somebody else, and it turns out that they're not who they say they are, now you're mad, resentful, you hate their guts. That's when all those things happen where you want the relationship to end. Like somebody start coughing, oh, you got cancer? Oh, she died. You know what I'm saying? So like you gotta be true to yourself first. Now yeah, my mind.
We got about 13 more minutes. So if y'all got any questions right now, you know, we in popcorn. Any last questions, make sure y'all get those questions in. The Aries and Kennedy, I don't know, man. I need to know how to be doing those effects on my profile too, man. I'm slacking. I'm late on that one.
Just hold your finger down and he'll pull up the Giphy.
All right, definitely. I got you. Good looking.
I said gifts.
Oh, I
I
found
got
it.
you. I got you. Good looking. I'm like, yo, what's all of this, boy? I'm tripping. I'm missing something.
Now we all about to change our little
That's what I
pictures. Look at that.
meant to put up the chest because he was preaching, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely dope. Good looking, yo.
Yeah.
All right, with that being said, we do got King and Mr. Get It. Oh, King left. Mr. Get It done. Mr. Omar Jones. What's going on, King? Welcome to the Dame for Entrepreneurs Clubhouse. Thank you for sharing the space. How you feel about that topic at the top, King?
Peace and blessings, everyone. Appreciate you guys bringing me up on stage. Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. My wife and I are both entrepreneurs, but a lot of things you guys are speaking on, it's a lot of that I learned after getting married, you know, learning myself, learning what it is that I love, and just staying true. And me and my wife just kind of being able to guide and help each other out and get to a good space in a sense. Because she's more so, or she used to be, now she's changed her mindset and is more so wanted to work a 9 to 5, having that structure, having someone to kind of answer to in a sense. So, but yeah, I'm definitely feeling the vibes, and I appreciate you guys having this topic tonight.
Definitely. Thank you. And y'all definitely shout out to Miss Stephanie. She posted it on her Facebook page, and I was triggered. And I don't get triggered a lot, you know what I'm saying? So I was triggered by this, and I said, "Nah, I got to bring it over here to the family."
It's a pleasure. You know, what am I here for?
So shout out to anybody that, if y'all got any closing words, go ahead. Anybody got any last questions? Now the time to do so before we close up. And y'all know this day for entrepreneurs each and every Tuesday and on Wednesday night from 8 o'clock until y'all can follow us on Instagram, y'all can follow us on the Facebook, and y'all can also follow us on the YouTube as well, as we're streaming on multiple platforms. With that being said, anybody else? All right, so with that being said, I'm gonna get to my moderators. Aries, you got any closing arguments? Stephanie, Coco, and then
None to argue, everything to appreciate. Just wanted to say thank you and grateful for everybody, you know, for sharing their perspectives. You know, it's not easy. Be transparent and almost translucent to people who you don't ever see, but you hear their genuineness. So, you know, this conversation, I don't think it will ever be over because it's always going to be a fluid one. But for that, I do appreciate the energy and the juice everybody provides. I'm Aries and I am complete.
Stephanie?
Well, I'm glad this made almost a 2-hour show. That's awesome. I'm so excited.
It's usually 2 hours every.
Yeah. Well, y'all know I'm new up in here, but yeah, that was good. I just wanted to just piggyback off of what everybody's saying. Pretty much is like when you're entering these relationships, don't forget who you are as an individual. I was married for 14 years, going through a nasty divorce right now, and I know that I went into that relationship completely insecure, broken, and dependent on his validation. And at the end of the day, I didn't know what I liked, what I wanted to do with myself, what were my hobbies. You know, I didn't remember who I was as a core essence. And that's where I fucked up, because I just wanted to.
Jamie Clubhouse.
Oh, my bad.
Tell them we're busy.
Yeah, my bad. Y'all heard who it was too. Jamie. Go ahead, my bad. I'm sorry. I apologize.
But yeah, man, don't ever stop being who you are, and be choosy of who you're with. Like, there's always going to be somebody you're compatible with. Don't settle for somebody who's trying to change you. Settle for somebody who's trying to enhance who you are and help you grow. Like, that's all I got to say.
I'm sorry. I apologize for Jamie calling you. Well, you
Yeah,
can curse
whatever.
Jamie out for
I
telling him.
will.
So don't be
I'm
calling between
messaging him
8 and
right
10
now.
o'clock. You know exactly what
I'm
we
about to
doing on
message him
Tuesday.
right
You
now.
feel me? You should be here. You shouldn't be calling pills, right? So
Where
with
he
that
at?
being said, Miss Coco. Miss Coco, you got any last things to say? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, this definitely was a great conversation. I learned quite a bit. I'm glad it was peaceful and it was a good discourse and nobody was screaming. So the room was definitely good. And I hope you guys have followed the club and you'll come back and join us.
Definitely. Yeah, as I said, this club has been going on for 2 years. Like I said, we've been around since season 1. I want to thank my moderators as always, and I also want to thank all the people that come through and been around, the residents from the Pilar's Pull Up, from Make Money Lab, Dane Entrepreneurs, Chamber of Secrets, plethora of clubhouse that we own and that we just rock with and just been around with. And I just want to thank y'all. Thank y'all. We on multiple platforms, so you can follow either the Dane for Entrepreneurs or the Pilar's Pull Up on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and also TikTok too. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, we on there too. So with that being said, look out for the room tomorrow night at 8 o'clock as always. I actually have topics this week. You know, usually we do the Men Talk, Women Listen, where we ask each other questions and we dive in like that. But this week I just wanted to have topics. So it's gonna be a interesting topic tomorrow, where without blaming men on women, why are so much of us single? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't want to put it why are so many women single, because some men are too as well. So, why are we single? You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, that's tomorrow. I am Pilar. I represent a premium streetwear brand with our own model unique designs. And the mission for my brand is to highlight pillars in the community and positive influences. With that being said, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. So with that, peace, love, and soul. See y'all. Have a wonderful, productive week if I don't see y'all tomorrow.
Good night.
Peace.
Good night.